What's up, everybody? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the live show. We're here, CNET Live, for your coverage of the Note 8, Samsung's Unpacked event, with a variety of other things we may or may not see in the house. We got to do the introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, across me, Miss Lexi Savides.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And also in the show, our live show for the first time, Mr. Patrick Holland. Say hi to the good people out there.
Greetings, hello, hello.
All right, and also running the show with his 8-armed tentacles, Mr. Stephen Beecham.
Howdy, howdy.
And our producer extraordinaire in the back corner that never likes to be revealed. Bonnie's in the house. She's put your hand up. Can she? Okay. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want the love. All right, everybody. So just to give you a little update on what is going down today, if you don't already know, Samsung is holding their event out in New York. It will start approximately at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We will jump into the keynote, but before that, we always do kind of our pre-show. We want to talk about the things that we expect to see, some of the rumors we've heard, but we also want to talk to you guys. We make this show all about you, so we're going to put a little number down on the bottom. Our call system's going to be a little different today, but we are going to take your live calls and your live questions all together now. Patrick, you're going to have to chant this number with us, okay? The number is 1-844-311-7118.
That's a tough one.
Hey,
Rolls off the tongue.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
trust me, it took some time to put that together. Let's just say that. So if you guys and gals want to call us, dial into that number. Again, it's 1-844-311-7118. It's a toll-free call, both in the U.S. and internationally. That's how we look out for you.
Hey-o.
Someone
Nicely
paid for that.
done. Thank you.
All right, so as the call lines are already filling up, let's just touch base really quickly. The Note 8, obviously the successor to last year's Note 7. A very explosive phone. Honestly, a great phone that had its own issues. But let's just go around here and start off with you, Patrick. What are some of the things that Samsung needs to at least do today in your mind?
I mean, the first thing you got to do is you got to acknowledge what happened last year. It was a great phone, but there was that kind of one little small flaw that, made it be taken off the market. Then also think you have to take a look at what they've did with the S8 and how they can bring that into the Note 8, and maybe add an exciting feature, maybe like 2 on the back, like, I don't know, cameras.
Oh, yeah. So, we haven't
like
seen that.
Something like that.
Lexi?
I think, agree with Patrick. Obviously, we have to have some sort of acknowledgement of the Note 7 issue. Samsung said time and time again that the Note customers are their most treasured in the fact that they're so devoted to the brand. So I hope there's some sort of olive branch for those guys and girls who are time and time again going out to get that Note phone and stuck through Samsung, but through the whole times of the Note 7. I would love to see, obviously, the dual camera rumor that's floating around, and something a little bit whiz-bang extra, because I know that obviously there's going to be a lot of emphasis on the battery issue and safety of the phone, which is very, very important. But I think that might take away from the discussion of anything else that's super exciting. So hopefully there'll be a little surprise in the bag, crossing my fingers anyway.
And when you say whiz bang, you don't mean like touch whiz, right?
No, not touch whiz.
touch whiz.
That can go.
That can go bye-bye.
You can just give me. I mean, obviously, I think if everyone that is watching this, if their wish came true, we'd love to see a Samsung phone with pure Android. But we're not going to see that. I mean, that would be the dream realized, because that hardware with pure Android would just be money. I'm going to just go down here before we take the calls. Literally, all 10 phone lines are filled right now.
Wow, well done,
The people are here. So we're going to get your calls in a second. But before we do that, we did want to just kind of briefly touch upon at least some of the rumors that we've heard and seen related to the Galaxy Note 8. Rumored, these are actually specs from Evan Blass. If you guys have been following him on Twitter, he is kind of the leak extraordinaire of images, pictures, everything you can think of. But a 6.3-inch AMOLED display with a 2K resolution on that. But the big thing that you guys are talking about here that we touched upon, the dual camera for the first time on a Note product. Did you want to expand on any of that? Why you're kind of juiced about based on what the rumors?
Okay, because there's lots of dual camera phones out there, and they kind of all have their little nifty things they do. But I think what's exciting for me about this is it's kind of in the vein of the Apple phone or OnePlus 5, where you have both a wide angle and possibly a telephoto lens.
Yeah.
But here's a big thing on those phones. especially the Apple one, there's only one of those cameras that has optical image stabilization. And if the rumor is correct that both the telephoto and the wide angle have optical image stabilization, I think that could be amazing.
I agree. I think that one is going to be the game changer. Optical image stabilization is essentially, it's so much better than digital image stabilization. It's actually in the hardware and the lens of the camera rather than actually through software. So the result is vastly superior. And as you were saying, if it's in both of those lenses, both of those cameras, it's going to be really interesting to see how Samsung does that. I mean, it opens up so many possibilities as well. It's not only just going to be for photography. Think about the like augmented reality. Think about all those other applications you can use with 2 cameras. I hope there's going to be some sort of demo or something to go, look, it's for photography. It gives you that beautiful blurred background look, but there's also something else coming later that's going to be really worth your while and worth investing in a phone with 2 cameras.
Yeah, we've really seen the fact that as it's in a weird way, our phones, we've already known they become our go-to camera, but now they're becoming cameras, like doing more than just, now we're getting the bokeh effect. We're getting depth of field, like or field of depth in our cameras. And they're taking it to the next level. So I think that no matter what, I think bragging rights typically tend to people get excited more now these days because phones have matured and they've kind of plateaued of what they can really do. It's all about what the cameras can do now. And then how that adds to applications and, like we talk about augmented reality and things of that nature.
And I think also what's interesting is that you're able to now have, just like Apple, like a zoom lens on there without physically making the phone larger by adding another camera. And the possibilities, especially of AR, will they call it something like Bixby AR? Who knows?
No.
They'll call it Barksby.
Barksby.
B-A-R Barksby.
Apparently that's a word that's really resonated with millennials, Bixby, so Barksby.
Barksby. We're going to call it right now. B, capital A, capital R, XBY. I'll jump through a couple little quick specs before we get to the calls. Some of the other rumors or things that you guys and gals have probably seen, this design will be more squared off compared to like the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. We talked about the resolution of 2K. Chipset globally will go with an Exynos 8895. For the US, a Snapdragon 835. And then one of the things that people love to get crazy about RAM, rumors have pointed to and leaks that this Note 8 will come with 6 gigs of RAM, which is actually 2 more gigs than what the standard versions of the S8 and S8 Plus have. There are a couple actually Asian versions of the S8 that have 6 gigs, but it's not a widespread feature. So we have that. And then just speaking really quickly to the dual cameras, I mean, when we talk about detail leaks, we talk about detail leaks. Rear dual cameras, one of them will be the 12 megapixel with an f1.7 aperture, again with optical image stabilization. And then the other one will be the telephoto lens with an f2.4 aperture, again, optical image stabilization with optical zoom. So these are just some crazy things. We'll see how it all pans out. But before we jump in more and get your calls, we do have our call from our own Ms. Bridget Carey from inside Samsung's event, and she is blue, like deep sea blue.
Smurf exploded on her.
Da-ba-dee-da-ba-da.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to talk to you because I have such a headache right now. They are like hypnotizing us with the same 30-second song, and we're in a sea of blue, and it's just la da 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 da. Let me show you exactly by flipping my camera around here. Oh my God, it's just the blue lights.
Well, they're just indoctrinating you right now, Bridget. I mean, they're trying to get you in a brainwash mood to absorb everything they tell you.
Oh, Galaxy Note 8 is going to be so great.
You can probably remember that Wi-Fi information already that they're showing. You can memorize that by now. It's ingrained in the head.
Yeah.
So tell us what's going on, just around just kind of maybe the general feeling with people that you're talking about this Note 8 event specifically, if you could kind of paint that picture for us.
All right. Well, it was a little choppy to hear you because the connection here is wobbly. But to paint you the picture, at least of getting here, I mean, it was very high security. I think it's interesting to point out they were sniffing dogs with the bags. So I've never been to a tech event where I had a dog sniff me. But hey, we're secure here. Also, what everyone here is just kind of waiting for, obviously, is to see their tone. Oh, now they're talking so loud.
We can hear you. Okay, we can hear you. The microphone on your phone is quite impressive.
Ooh, it's one of those you know, the enemy phones. Yeah, I feel like everyone is always hyped to talk about, like, oh my gosh, the big. Oh, hey, there's Roger Chang. Everyone's hyped to talk about the issue with the fire in the Note 7 and how they're gonna, you know, recover. I think CNET fans keep track of this stuff, but I think most people are really just wondering, like, there's just too many Samsung phones. What can they do to stand out? What can they do to really make a big impact? And this is the big year. They're fighting Apple. So, you know, what are they going to do? Like, the tension between them and Apple is bigger than ever. I think most consumers are a little bit worn out between how many different Samsung Galaxy phones there are and what this one's going to do to make it worth paying so much more for this extra jumbo phone.
So true. Bridget, are there any freebies there? I know that Samsung's often given away like Gear 360 cameras to the audience or VR headsets. Is there any hint of anything there at all?
We are in stadium seating and no, nothing in our seats, just our butts and the blue lights. So if there is any freebie, I mean, there was some avocado toast. So, you know.
There's got to be
and
avocado toast.
And we all got bottles of water. So, yeah, hydration.
All right, Bridget.
Yeah.
Hey, Bridget, so we're going to let you guys get back to work there before we start. There's literally...
All right, shout out to the team. Hey!
Shout out. Hey! The big red machine.
They're all in Tron right now.
All right, thanks so much. We appreciate it, and we'll be looking forward to their coverage. We obviously will have all these follow-up articles and coverage from inside the event and hands-on with whatever devices they announce. I thought she made an interesting point because I think actually when we talk about the Note 8, I don't think the fact is that the Note 8 line or the Note line in general has always been the most feature-packed phone. No one will ever dispute that. And beyond that, I just think they just need to show off, and it's going to take time. It's just going to be a solid phone that isn't going to have any issues. It's going to improve on the camera side. Everyone kind of knows what to expect in every other aspect of it with Bixby. You know, you might get a few cool like features with the pen or whatnot. But beyond that, if they just hold down the fort and say, okay, fine, last year was a debacle. We really handled it incorrectly, and we're going to do it right this time. And if it pans out to be a solid, nice Note 8 phone, then they can go for the stars for the Note 9. But I just think that they just need to prove, hey, this is it. I don't think people are going to be overwhelmingly blown away, but I think it's going to be a solid phone.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. The word is solid. It's going to be solid. It's going to have to be reliable. It's going to be a phone that Samsung has to put out and show that it's safe. And it's not going to, I think, blow us away in any way.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be a pun at all. I apologize. That was an unintentional pun there. It's going to be a reliable phone that is going to set the tone for future Samsung phones. I think, they're going to reiterate that 8-point battery safety check that they rolled out as a result of the Note 7 and was first implemented on the S8. I'm sure they'll reiterate that again. Take us through a tour of the battery testing facilities just to show, yes, it's safe. But then they're going to move on. I mean, once they've got that out of the way, and as they do with the S8, it's just going to be business as usual. Here is our phone. Here's what it can do, and here's why you want to buy it.
Yeah, let's go to the phone calls because everyone has been waiting patiently, so I just wanted to start showing some love. We're going to start off with Robert Kalash. Are you there, Robert?
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. You can listen to us through your phone and then just ignore like the actual stream because then you'll be talking to us like real time. You hear me now, Robert?
No problem.
All right, what's up, man?
Yep, you're fine.
What do you want to talk about
Not
today?
much. I'm wondering if Samsung's going to do anything for those people that are turning in the Note 7, if they're going to give a discount or, you know, get the S7s instead of the Note 7, so...
Well, we saw what they did at least, right? For people that had the Note 7, they offered people like kind of a little discount off, and by forcing you to return it, they take a little chunk off the S8. What rumors or things have you guys heard potentially about what they might do here today?
Something in terms of maybe a Gear VR deal, a package, something to entice users. I mean, is that really going to be enough if it's just simply an object rather than like a financial discount? I don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see. Is there something that in particular you would like? Are you a Note 7 owner yourself? Like, would you like a discount as a result of this?
Yeah, I turned in my Note I had to get an S7 Edge, and most Note people are loyal. That's why they're still around. So I was hoping Samsung's going to say, okay, fine, we'll pay what's remaining on the Samsung S8, the S7 Edge, and let you get your Note 8.
Yeah, I think that as someone who is a customer who, I'm not going to use the word burned, but I did. But as someone who felt that they were burned by that situation, I think if you really want to make people happy, you got to give someone more than just a Gear VR headset with the Note 8. It literally would have to be some sort of financial thing. I don't think they'll do that. I think they might say, okay, here's a bundle of not only the Gear VR, here's some extra software.
Yeah,
throw that in,
they
right?
do that with all their
$100,
phones.
right? But they already do that. Like they did that during a small window of time.
They did it
for
with the
S8.
S7. You got the watch or the VR set, so they do that no matter if you had it, right? Or not.
Yeah, so
yep.
We'll see. I mean, this is the good thing, right? You're here to watch and find out what they do, and that's what we're going to find out as well. So we'll cross your fingers for you, bro, all right?
All right.
All right, thanks for calling.
You guys
Appreciate
have a good
it.
day.
Thank you.
You too.
We're going to go out to Chris right now. He wants to talk about the pen with the Note 8. We don't get many questions about the pen. So, Chris, what's up? Welcome to the show. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get my phone. Okay, I'm going to put him back in the queue, and we're going to go to someone else because guess what? We've got lots of calls. All right, let's go out to if the calling software did its job. Is this Coward from calling us about the Note 8?
Come in.
Okay, I'm going to keep on
While you're
rolling.
doing that, I was going to say, like, I think they could just give people avocado toast, right? Like, just go, hey, you know what?
Pack it in, travel.
And it's worth a good chunk of cash. What, $10 a slice?
$10 a slice. It depends where you are.
$10 a slice.
You can resell that.
Get a year's worth of avocado toast if you.
Wow, that's
former
generous.
Note 7, yeah.
All right, let's see here. Let's go out to. Sorry, guys.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're
Stand by,
trying to get this thing rolling.
Stand
It did
by,
work the first
everybody.
couple times though.
Mhm.
Is Harvey out there? Can you hear us okay, Harvey, or not? Okay. Well, I'm gonna figure this out while we talk about other things.
We can chat about other things.
Well, there's lots of other stuff to talk about.
I mean, someone on the CNET Live hashtag, by the way, if you want to jump on that and tell us your thoughts. Chris has asked, what happened with the rumors about a release of Note 7 rebranded? What did Samsung do with all their stock? That's a great question. I mean, I know there was a Note 7. What was the name of that edition that they kind of re-released in Asia? Wasn't it? Was it something? I thought there was some rumors about that. I'm intrigued to know. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Note 7 stock left out there. Like, is it? Hopefully, I'm sure it was all gone to recycling and reusing those parts for breaking them down and using them as components for other phones and recycling them in a sustainable way. I don't know what else.
Well, there's a lot of I mean, I don't know what happened with those things, but I think another thing that we could talk about is other stuff that we expect to see at this event, because at Unpacked, it's not just about the phones. Evan Blass again was back at it again, showing us basically a new. I know this is not going to be like a game changer, but basically their new Gear Fit 2 Pro, the next generation of their Gear Fit 2, where they added the word Pro. And so
it's got a bigger screen.
Come on, now these days you've got to add the word Pro to make it the next generation instead of going to numbers, because that's just, people don't want numbers anymore. They want Pro. It's so much more professional. So we have screenshots of what Evan Blass revealed here. This is going to be a Tizen-based their fitness band sensor, a nice big screen, some of the things that make it interesting and different from before. It will have GPS. It'll also support offline Spotify for music playing, which is really nice.
Well done.
It'll be IP68 water and dust resistant. It does say though that it can be put in water but not submersible. So it does have a swimming tracking software that it'll be compatible with. Speedo On's fitness app, in case you
Speeders.
rock the Speedos.
Oh, my favorite. Oh.
Banana hammock.
Budgie smugglers for all the Aussies out there. Budgie smugglers.
Twigs and berries. So with the Speedo On app, it talks to this device as well. But rumors point to it being priced at $199, and that we should expect to see it. It's a little pricier for a fitness band. I think, these days you want something around like the $150, maybe $170, but we'll see how it integrates. Again, it's Tizen based, but it will be compatible with both Android and iOS. So we'll see more about that. I also want to throw this out before we try to make an attempt at the call line again. Maybe something that, do you guys think we'll see anything Gear VR related? We know that they released an earlier kind of just more like a cosmetic update to the Gear VR when the S8 came out, and it's compatible with the S8 and S8 Plus. What do your guts tell you about the Gear VR? Do you think we'll see one? Maybe, maybe not. Will they do anything different?
I am hoping that it's going to be a standalone headset. So I don't want to see an update to the Gear VR where it's just you put your phone in and that powers everything. I want to see Samsung go, hey, here are our plans for standalone VR. You know, we've got Intel already they've got plans out there. We've got Oculus rumored to have that standalone VR headset that is basically wireless. It's, all contained into one. I want to see Samsung come out and go, so you know about the Gear VR, but let's tell you about this new product that's actually going to be totally untethered and doesn't require a phone to run. I'm intrigued about that. I think that's really going to be the next step that VR needs to take.
Well, it's exciting too because if you go back to the Note 8 a little bit, there's rumors about the resolution of the screen, and that would be an excellent slide-in device for the old-style VR headset. But if it was a standalone, I think that would also be pretty cool.
I know.
Yeah, there's what they've shown, at least at the recent Mobile World Congress in Shanghai, was a prototype or a version of a Samsung VR headset, a standalone one that does have the positionless tracking cameras in it as well, which is kind of like the next kind of spatial advancement in these VR headsets when they're standalones. I don't know if we'll see it here, but it would be really cool if they dropped it on us because it was a working prototype. It didn't look too shabby at the time, but again, it's only been a few months. We'll see if they do more right. They added a motion controller with the latest Gear VR as well, so that could be something interesting if they threw that out on us. I don't know. I'd like to see it though, just to see where they're going. Okay, should we give this?
We should definitely try it.
Holy okay, we're about 7 minutes out before the actual keynote. I'm gonna cross my fingers. Okay,
let's do this. Come on,
let's give it a shot.
Come on, phone.
Okay, I'm going to reach out to Larry. Larry, can you hear us? Oh my God.
Oh, Larry, I'm so sorry. Oh, guys. Oh, okay, we tried, but. The hashtag, though, we got a lot of questions coming in on the hashtag.
Okay, go for it. I know what's going on here, actually. I know what's going on, yeah.
All right.
It's not working.
Oh, we have...
No, I'm going to work this out.
Okay. Okay, Dan says on CNET Live, what we were talking about earlier about those older Note 7 devices that were turned in. They apparently turned into the Note 7 Fan Edition that was only released in South Korea. Okay, I think that's what I was recalling. Someone's asking, Brian, where are the AirPods? Mike is right. Where are your AirPods?
Where are my AirPods? Oh my gosh, they're somewhere around here. So I'm not gonna wear them here. That's blasphemous to wear at a Samsung event.
Wow.
Price point. Okay, so a couple questions on CNET Live asking, do we see it launching at $1,000 or around about that mark in the US? Is that just about? I mean, Patrick, is that too steep for you? About right?
No, I feel like that in a weird way that's a new trend. I don't know if it's a great trend, but we're seeing like these phones and rumors of like the next Apple phone popping up that high. We're looking at this red camera phone coming out later. This could be $1,200. So I think establishing as a premium phone and at that price point could be acceptable. And it could play into the narrative also of, hey, if you had a Note 7, we're going to give you a financial discount to make it drop back in line to maybe what last year's price was.
Good point. I mean, that's a huge incentive if they can actually bring the price down through a discount. As we've said time and time again, loyal Note owners. Samsung knows that these people are super loyal to the brand and super loyal to Note. So anything to entice them and bring the price down. But yeah, $1,000. It's that barrier for me.
It's a little psychological thing.
It's a psychological barrier for me. It's a steep price point. I think if it's $9.99, it's just like, that thing where it's like you see it's 99 cents. You're like, I can afford that. Oh, it's a full round number. It's $9.99. I can afford that.
It's hard though because we know the largest capacity storage for an iPhone, 7 Plus is actually already over $1,000. So I think people just, although we talk about it and there's a lot of articles about it, I think we've always talked about it in some of the other stuff we've done. It's like once you break that down in like to monthly payments and plans, people don't care. If they see like $45 a month, they're still gonna do it. They're yeah, exactly. Like for however long. Okay, do you want me to tell you why I think I got the phone line situation?
I would love to. I've been dying to know.
So the actual Skype that we used to call into it had been closed this entire time.
Oh, what?
Wow.
No, it closed on itself. So if this doesn't work, this is a total fail on all accounts, okay? Right. But I'm going to give it one more time. I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that Joshua is in the house. Joshua, can you hear me from CNET Live?
Yeah.
You know, so Joshua, you got in. You got in the show. This is a good omen for Note 8 users. The battery will not explode because we got this to work. All right, Joshua, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, man. I mean, like, I'm on my Note 7 right now, actually, talking to you guys, and I'm 2 blocks away from the actual event.
Whoa.
You're still rocking your Note 7?
Woo!
Yeah, I got the Note 7 still. It's the version 2 from T-Mobile. I've had problems with it, but it's been okay.
Maybe that's why they have all that security at the event.
Joshua's like, I also live dangerously.
I've flown to Orlando, L.A., Boston, Alaska. I've had 6 months with the phone. No problems whatsoever.
He's like, they're all, anyone who has a Note 7 phone needs to get off the plane. He's like,
it's the family edition. It's the special edition.
Joshua, can you tweet me whenever you're on a plane? Because I'm gonna make sure I'm not on that plane.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. I'll definitely let you know.
So, what do you want to talk about today, man? You're awesome. What's up?
So no, yeah, I'm just I'm happy for this Note 8 event coming out finally, and coming, you know. I don't know what else to talk about except like we're just hoping to see that we don't have that same recall issue that happened with the Note 7 because, as you can see, a lot of us had to turn that back in. That was a big issue for us.
Basically, you just called in to brag that you're still rocking the Note 7, right? You're just trying to represent for the loyalists.
For sure. Yeah, I saw people talking about Note 7s. I was like, all right, I got to call in at least. I'm like probably the only person with the Note 7 left.
Awesome, bro. All right, hey, we appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, man. Way to represent.
All right, you guys enjoy your day.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That is awesome.
Loves his technology. I mean, this is like, yo, Note 7. What? What? They're still out there? Yeah, he's got it. All right, let's keep on going here. I don't have the name for this person, but I believe it might be Omar based on what it says. Omar, can you hear us on CNET Live?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
How's it going?
What's up, my man? It feels good when you get this thing to work. Hey, what do you want to talk about today? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm actually calling because I was wondering, what do you guys in the leaks, the placement of the fingerprint scanner? I mean, didn't Samsung learn from the S8 that that's a terrible location to have a fingerprint scanner? And I mean, my camera lens is still clogged up from every time I try to put my finger on there.
Yeah, you know what? I think it bugs me personally because I think they did it purely from an aesthetic reason in their mind. They just didn't want to see like 2 circles on the back of it. And they wanted to put it next to the sensor. They had every opportunity to change that with the Note 8, and it gets in the way. Some people say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's right next to the camera. It's going to smudge over time. I mean, how often do you feel that you're cleaning your camera lens?
Quite often.
And there's that message that pops up, too, that reminds you to clean your camera lens.
By the way, your fingers are dirty.
Exactly.
Yeah, so all the renders and everything that has been leaked out that are allegedly actual official images of the Note 8 show that it's still going to be in the same exact place, right next to the camera lens. So I could give you a bro hug right now, just to like, here, everyone give him a bro hug just to make him feel better.
There we go. Would you rather them move the fingerprint sensor or fix that Bixby button? Which drives you more crazy?
Well, you know what would have been cool? Yeah, how about both? I mean, the good thing, one way that they can help, the thing is that Bixby wasn't obviously fully baked at all. It basically released 3 months later, and then people were already kind of turned off by the fact that, A, you have this dedicated button. People tried to hack around it to use it for other things. Then Samsung's like, hey, we're going to update this and not let you use it to launch, the Google Assistant or anything like that. For them to put so much dedication into a physical button and for it to play out like that, it's a bummer. And even now, sure, they're going to show us a more polished, most likely, a slightly better Bixby, show it off even more. But I think they've turned off a lot of people with Bixby already, just because of that whole thing. And I don't know about yourself, Omar. Are you feeling that way?
Yeah, I am. But Bixby, they have that, the ranking, as to how often you use it, they rank you. So currently I'm 5,000.
Got him. He's like, ranking. He's like, okay, fine. I'll use this. I'm 5,000 right now.
You can gamify it. Someone's going to use it.
And he's used it 3 times probably, right?
Yeah, because you're like, wow, you performed a command 1,000 points.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so, enjoy the keynote. It'll be starting shortly. We will jump directly to it once it goes. But thanks for calling in, all right? We appreciate it, Omar.
Perfect. Pleasure talking with you guys. Have a great day.
Cool, thank you. Okay, we'll take one more call real quick here before we go. Thank you for everyone who was patient with us. I'm gonna go out to Charlie Reynolds. Charlie, can you hear us on CNET Live?
Yes, I can hear you.
What's up, Charlie? Welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about like the Note 8 and looking forward to upgrading to it from my Note 5.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's
gonna be
overdue update.
What's the thing that you want to see the most today? That's just about to start. So get it in. What do you want to see the most today?
Well, I'd like to see the display, like how they can like if there's any improvements. But mostly, like what I'm not excited about is the fingerprint reader on the back.
Yep. I agree with you 100%. So, hey, Charlie, thank you so much for calling. We're going to jump into the actual live keynote. Everyone that is watching will be back to do a recap, and we'll have the phone lines open as well then, and they will work. So we're going to jump in there. We'll see you guys soon. It's about an hour, and enjoy the show.
I am so excited. It has literally just arrived about 2 minutes ago. I go with the Note line because of the pen.
Rest in peace, Galaxy Note 7. It was fun while it lasted.
This is too bad, because I liked a lot of things about this phone.
Is the Note 7 still my favorite phone? And the answer is, of course it is.
I'm going to wait it out. I went back to my Galaxy S6. It's not the same.
I'm not going to downgrade my phone. I have faith in Samsung.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the stage, President of Mobile Communications Business, DJ Ko.
Thank you and welcome to Park Avenue Armory. I'm so excited to be back in New York with you. We are here to celebrate one of this industry's truly unique devices, the Galaxy Note. In 2011, when we introduced the first Note, it was so far ahead of the curve that some people couldn't believe what we had achieved. They didn't understand the power of that pen. What they loved at the big screen. But there are millions of people who recognized right away that the Note was much more than just another smartphone. They saw it as a canvas for their creativity, an engine for their ideas, and a platform for their productivity. So today, we are here to do more than celebrate a device We are here to celebrate everyone who helped make the Galaxy Note such a success. Of course, none of us will ever forget what happened last year. I know I won't. But I will never forget how millions of dedicated Note loyalists stayed with us. Their passion has been a constant inspiration. So let me express my deepest gratitude to the incredible Note community around the world. We are here today because of your support. And it is a special honor to personally thank all of the Note lovers who have come to New York to join us. You played such an important role by sharing your experiences and offering your feedback. I'm deeply, deeply humbled by your loyalty and grateful for your insight. Your passion is the most important measure of the value of our innovation and the greatest reward for our commitment to defy barriers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. The truth is, as the Note is different from other smartphones, Note lovers are different from other smartphone users. They are the ultimate multitaskers and power users, the achievers creating new ways to understand and experience the world. They are why we created the Note. Today, they form a unique tribe of creators, inventors, and doers who look at the world and see unlimited possibilities. A tribe so passionate that 3 out of 4 Note users say it's the best phone they have ever owned. And almost 9 out of 10 are proud to recommend it to a friend. There is no better example of the strength of this tribe and the Note culture they have created than Pen Up. Pen Up is a global community of people who use their Note and S Pen to create and share beautiful works of art. It is remarkable to see millions of people around the world express themselves through the universal language of drawing. Pen Up is a great reminder of how meaningful progress enables people to reach further and do more. Here is another thing I love about the Galaxy Note. It validates our belief in the power of relentless innovation. Today, large screen phones are the fastest growing segment of the smartphone market, and they are defining the future of mobile technology. Now, after years of research and development, we can deliver the largest screen that fits comfortably in your hand. We are multitasking easier, note-taking more powerful, and drawings come alive. We've transformed the S Pen from a great writing tool into an incredibly efficient way to switch between tasks and harness the power of this one. Now, we are unleashing new ways to communicate that are more visual, more emotional, and more fun. We continue to evolve our best-in-class camera to take great pictures in any conditions. We were the first to offer iris scanning as we focus on advanced biometric security to protect personal information. We pioneered wireless charging and IP68 water and dust resistance so people can walk and play wherever and whenever they want. And with Bixby, we are leading the way with voice, touch, vision, and text so people can control experiences the way they like. But Bixby is more than just a better way to interact with the devices. It is the beginning of smarter capabilities that will help people solve problems, manage tasks, and connect the valuable experiences. So much has changed since we launched the first Galaxy Note. What was impossible to do 6 years ago is impossible to do without today. Over the past 30 years, I haven't seen how magic happens when you embrace the future and make a bold investment to explore uncharted territory. And so, we are here to celebrate the Note lovers who inspire us today, and to introduce a smartphone that will inspire the Note lovers of tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the Galaxy Note 8. Thank you. Now, let's meet the Galaxy Note 8 in detail. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Senior Vice President of Product Strategy, Justin Dennison.
Thank you, DJ, and hello, everyone. It is great to be back at Unpacked to show you the incredible Note 8. But today isn't just about unveiling an amazing new product. It's about celebrating what's behind that product, all of you. For years, Note users have inspired us to think bigger. You've raised the bar for all smartphones by demanding more from yours. Now, your backgrounds and passions are different, but you all have one thing in common. You're not just dreamers, you're doers. And the Note 8 is made for people who want to do bigger things. Watch a movie on a cinematic screen when you're miles away from the nearest theater. Blog about your most recent vacation while flipping through all the photos you took. Or take a beautiful portrait, or create one yourself. With a screen built for working and playing, a top-of-the-line camera, and a pen for expressing yourself in any situation. The Note series has always been designed for people who want to get more out of their smartphones. Year after year, you've asked us to help you do what you couldn't do before. The Galaxy Note 8 is our answer. There's one thing that's always set the Note series apart: the large immersive screen. We created the Note because we saw an entire group of people who used every inch of their device and still wanted more. You were the reason we created the large screen category. You're the reason we pioneered the Edge panel, adding an entirely new dimension to the device. And you're the reason we keep pushing the boundaries of display technology, literally, to give you more space to do more. In March, we introduced an innovation that kicked off a new era in smartphone design: the Infinity Display. People love the Infinity Display on the S8 and S8 Plus. And because of it, they're using their phones more than ever before. And today, we're combining the revolutionary technology of the Infinity Display with the power of the S Pen and bringing it to the Note for the very first time. Thank you. The Infinity Display is a game changer for Note users. Because where others see more screen, you see more space to do what you love and to get things done. With an edge-to-edge display that covers nearly the entire front face of the device, the Note 8 has the largest screen ever on a Note device. To create it, we took a 6.3-inch pane of glass and we rounded the corners and curved the edges. This time at a steeper angle to give you more space to write and create with the S Pen. And not only can you do more on the Note 8, you can view more too. It has a cinematic screen that pulls you into the story when you're watching movies or videos without any obtrusive bezels or sensors or camera lenses getting in the way of your view. And we did this all without compromising on design. And with our cutting-edge Quad HD Plus Super AMOLED display, those movies look crisp and clear. Photos are brilliant, and games are totally immersive. Now, seeing more also means scrolling less. So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, after getting my cup of coffee, of course, is to catch up on articles, emails, my social feeds. With the Note 8, I can see more at once. So I spend less time scrolling and more time caffeinating. Now in the mornings before my kids wake up, it's literally the only time I can focus on just one thing. And as I get into my day, I need a device like the Note, which is made for multitasking and for balancing everything that life throws my way. Multitasking is a signature of the Note series. So on the weekends, when my family and I drive around town, we pull up maps to check the traffic conditions and the music player to stream some tunes. And with multi-window, we don't have to switch between those two apps. And now, the Note 8 makes it even easier to multitask and to customize the experience to fit your life. Thanks to App Pair, you can create a shortcut to launch 2 of your most used apps with a single tap from the Edge panel. So that means as soon as I get in the car for that weekend drive, I can pull up maps and music with just one touch. And it all runs completely seamlessly thanks to the powerful performance of the Note 8. This is a phone designed for the way you use it. In fact, even though the Note 8 lets you see and do more than ever, its body is still incredibly slim and comfortable to hold. On the outside, this is a beautiful device. But what I'm really proud of are the amazing feats of engineering that lie just underneath the surface. The Note 8 is composed of hundreds of individual technologies, from the smallest internal wiring to the sensors below the glass. And you get to choose your favorite color, as it comes in midnight black, my favorite orchid gray, maple gold, and deep sea blue. With its signature large screen display, the Note 8 helps you bring big ideas to life. And beyond the screen, it's a device that empowers you to create, whether you're planning a meeting, capturing a memory, or sharing a meme. And now, I'm excited to bring to the stage someone who really knows how to create with the Note 8. Please help me welcome Suzanne Da Silva.
Thank you, Justin. In the past month, I've had the chance to live, work, and play with the Note 8. 2 of my favorite new features are the incredible new camera and the S Pen, which let you express yourself in ways you never thought you could. Today, we don't just use our cameras for special occasions, we use them to capture and share the moments we live every day. And many of those moments happen at night. That's why we introduced the dual pixel sensor, so you could capture vivid photos and videos in low light. But what's the point of an awesome camera if you miss the perfect shot? Like when your friend finally gets airborne. That's why we introduced Quick Launch, so you can access your camera at a moment's notice. And remember the days when you were afraid of taking pictures at the beach, by the pool, or in the rain for fear of getting your phone wet? Well, that's why we made our devices water resistant, so you don't have to worry. And we've built on that foundation of innovation to create a camera that makes it even easier to express yourself, however, wherever, and whenever you want. In fact, you might even say that the Note 8's camera is twice as good as before. And I mean that literally. We're proud to introduce a dual camera that will set a new standard for smartphone cameras everywhere. That's right, the Note 8 has 2 separate back cameras that work together to capture your experiences like never before. One camera has a wide-angle lens for capturing big scenes, and the other has a telelens with 2x optical zoom, so you can get closer to your subjects without sacrificing image quality. But here's the coolest part. The Note 8 is the first smartphone ever to have optical image stabilization in both cameras. That means you get crisp, clear shots even when you're on the move. Let's check out the difference between the Note 8 and a smartphone without dual OIS. Just look at the difference. And that's not all. It's not just photos that benefit from dual OIS, it's videos too. If you think that's amazing, here's something you're really gonna love. We've created a brand new mode called Live Focus, so you can get the most out of the Note 8's dual camera. You know those beautiful professional portrait photos where the background is soft and dreamy and the foreground is in perfect focus? Those are the kinds of pictures Live Focus will help you take. Live Focus gives you the freedom to decide how much your subject stands out by adjusting the blur and focus of the background in real time. Let me show you. First, I'm going to need an assistant. Kelly, can you help me out for a second? Come on down. Kelly is a radio host from LA and a super Note fan.
What's going on, Suzanne? How you doing today?
Good. Awesome, Kelly. We're going to work on your profile pic.
Okay.
It's going to be epic.
Make sure you get my good side, though.
All right. Awesome. I'm going to launch my camera, turn on live focus mode, and now, since this picture is all about Kelly, I'm going to turn up the effect to maximum. All right. Let's see what we've got. That looks great. You want to come see this, Kelly?
Oh, yeah. Let's check that out. Now, he is sexy.
That is your new profile pic, Kelly.
I like that.
Everyone, give it up for Kelly. In live focus mode, you can adjust the background blur even after you've taken the picture. So, if I want to dial it down, I can. But since this is Kelly's profile pic, I'm going to dial it back up. In live focus mode, the cameras simultaneously take 2 pictures. So, not only do you have Kelly's new portrait, but you have all the beautiful detail behind it, which includes all of you. Kelly's new profile pic, all of you. We call this feature dual capture. That means you can capture an intimate moment without losing the big picture. The Note 8 camera is a tool for expressing yourself, from composing the perfect portrait to capturing life in action no matter where you are. But an amazing camera is not the only way you can express yourself using the Note 8. The S Pen has always been the heart and soul of the Note series. It's what allows you to be creative and productive. It combines the simplicity of a pen with the power of the Note, and you never have to worry about charging or syncing the S Pen. And now, we've made it even better. It has a finer tip and greater pressure sensitivity to faithfully capture each stroke. And it's paired with the largest screen we've ever put on a Note, so now you have a larger canvas. All these amazing drawings you're seeing coming up on the screens around me were created using the S Pen and posted in PenUp, the vibrant community DJ talked about earlier. We created PenUp so users could share their work or browse through a curated gallery of S Pen art. And today, there are over 2.7 million PenUp users globally. And here's my favorite new feature. PenUp now has a collection of coloring book templates designed specifically for the S Pen. The PenUp coloring books are a great way for me to relax after a long day working on the Note 8 launch. Today, most of us communicate by texting, but a text message lacks emotion. That's why we find ourselves relying on pictures, emojis, and clever punctuation to express our feelings. But now, the S Pen adds a whole new dimension to your communication by letting you animate what you write or draw. So, instead of just texting a friend to say thank you, you can add a little flavor to your message. A personal touch makes a huge difference, even if you're just scheduling coffee with a friend. So for the Note 8, we created Live Message, a new feature that lets you put some self back in self-expression. With Live Message, you can animate anything you write or draw, or add personal messages to photos. Let's try it out right now. First, I need a picture. Which side of this audience is going to give me the most love? Can I hear it? Can I hear it? Oh. These guys over here. All right, you guys ready? Bring your smiles up. All right, let's see. Perfect. Looks good. So now, I'm gonna take my S Pen out. Let's get back to that picture. I'm gonna take my S Pen out. Click on Live Message. Select that picture that we just took from my gallery. I'm not gonna lie, the Sparkle pen is my favorite. Now, this is saving to an standard animated message format, so I can share this with everyone. Isn't that cool? There is no telling when you're going to need to write down a confirmation number, create a to-do list, or jot down a new idea. Chances are you're not going to have a pen and paper handy. Hello, S Pen and Screen Off Memo. Screen Off Memo is one of the most popular ways to capture and easily share your ideas and thoughts. Since users love the experience so much, we made it even better. Now, when you pin a to-do list to your always-on display, you can also edit it from there with a simple double tap. And that's not all. You can keep writing and writing and writing for as long as you want. Well, up to 100 pages, all without turning on your screen. The S Pen isn't just a tool for expressing yourself, it's a way to understand others and the world around you as well. You can now translate entire sentences with your S Pen, a feature that actually came in handy the other day. I'm going to Berlin next week, and I asked a friend for a restaurant recommendation. But when she sent me the link, the whole site was in German. With the S Pen, I can just hover over a menu item, and it will translate the entire sentence for me. Thank you. It even automatically converts units of measurement and foreign currencies. From the smallest memo to the biggest moments, the Note 8 helps simplify your everyday and power amazing experiences, all from a device that fits in your pocket. The Note 8 doesn't just change how you interact with what's on your phone, but with your phone itself. And to tell you more, please welcome my colleague, John Wong.
Thanks, Suzanne. I'm thrilled to be here, especially because I get to talk to you about two of my favorite things, Bixby and Samsung DeX. With the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, we launched Bixby, a smarter way to use your phone. Every year, smartphones get more advanced, with tens of thousands of features and functions. And at Samsung, our job is to bring you those innovations and make it easy to use them to their full potential. Bixby completely changes your everyday interactions, from voice and vision control to an intuitive home screen and intelligent reminders. It learns and adapts to the way you use your device, not the other way around. For instance, with Bixby Voice, you can speak to your phone naturally, using the words and phrases you use every day. Today, Bixby Voice is available for English speakers in more than 200 markets around the world, and it's learning and getting smarter every day. There are endless ways to personalize your Bixby experience, and all of them are at your fingertips with a simple press of the Bixby button. Take Quick Commands. With Quick Commands, you can program the Bixby button to perform complex tasks in response to a custom phrase. That means, with just one or two words, you can launch multiple actions at once. This is super cool. Let me show you how it works. So, I'm a bit of a foodie, so of course I take a lot of food photos. And for me, this involves a lot of steps. So that's why I set up my own quick command with the custom phrase, food photo. Now instead of having to do all these steps manually, Bixby does them for me. So let me show you. I can press the Bixby button and say, food photo. Bixby automatically launches the camera, sets it to food mode, snaps the pic. Not only does it do that, it opens my gallery and moves my pizza slice to my foodie album. Yeah, pretty cool, eh? That way I can actually move the actual pizza slice in my mouth. And you can customize your own commands the way you like. For example, if I wanted to get artistic, I could have Bixby take all my food photos in black and white. Now, after all that pizza, getting a little bit tired, I think it's time for bed. Well, with Bixby, I mapped my entire nighttime routine to a single phrase. So now, with a simple press of the Bixby button, I can just say, good night. Bixby automatically turns it to do not disturb mode, sets my usual 6 a.m. alarm, and it turns on the blue light filter. Really cool. With quick commands, Bixby's giving you an entirely new way to personalize your mobile experience and use your phone the way you like. Bixby is constantly learning new capabilities. We're so proud how far it's come and so excited for where it's going. And we have great new apps coming on board all the time. Thanks to one of our new partnerships, you'll be able to use Bixby with Spotify to play your favorite music later this year. Great. And we'll be sharing more exciting news in October during our developers conference. Bixby changes the way we interact with our phones. But the Note 8 also redefines what our phones can be and how we use them in our daily lives. So, let's talk about DeX. In March, I told you about this amazing new product. Now, full disclosure, I'm a little obsessed with DeX. It's super cool because it lets you harness the power of your Galaxy device, extending it to a monitor, mouse, and keyboard. And with DeX, we're creating a world where you can move seamlessly from your living room to your office and carry your work and personal life in your pocket, where you can start to edit a presentation or play a game on the subway, then finish them on a big screen. And we've been working around the clock to make DeX even better, optimizing the most useful mobile apps for the DeX environment. Take one of the most popular mobile games, Vainglory. With Game Launcher on DeX, you can put the graphics in a full screen, immersive mode, and destroy your enemies with a mouse and keyboard. But, of course, even though a lot of us like to play games and relax, we still have to get stuff done. So we have a whole ecosystem of exciting partnerships that will change the way you work and play. So the other day, I was chatting with my colleagues about how to show these partner apps in a real-life story. And one of them said to me, John, you are that story. See, I have DeX set up at home and at the office, and I'm definitely a bit spoiled. My daily commute involves a 20-minute stroll down New York's famous High Line to the Samsung office. So this is what I travel with. No laptop, no bulky bag. Let's say I'm on the High Line and I need to talk to Suzanne about our Note 8 presentation. We've partnered with Zoom to make video conferencing completely seamless. So I can just open up the Zoom app and start the meeting with Suzanne. And I love this flexibility where I can be doing this while I'm strolling down the High Line. Oh, there she is. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, I'm just actually getting back to my desk here. So let me just dock into the DeX station. What's great is because I started that meeting while I was walking down the High Line on my phone. When I'm back at my DeX, all I have to do is open up the app, and the video conference is still connected. Pretty cool. Didn't have to rejoin, reconnect. So, Suzanne, I think I owe you that updated photo of the Note 8, but I'd like your help with that.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so let me just share you my screen so you can see what's going on.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. I can see your screen and me on your screen.
Nice. So I'll pull up Adobe Lightroom. Go to the photo that we need to edit here. All right, it's a good-looking photo, but I think it's a bit dark. So let's do a selective edit. And wow, with the mouse, this is actually really, really easy. That's cool. So Suzanne, I might need your help with letting me know when the exposure looks right to you.
Okay. That looks great right there, I think.
Right there? Perfect. And just to finish it off, let me do a little bit of a crop at the right angle here. I think that's about good. I'll save that. Suzanne, how does that look?
Awesome. Thanks so much for your help.
Awesome. Thanks, Suzanne. We'll chat with you later.
See ya.
Now, do you see why I love using DeX all the time? Super simple, super easy. With DeX, you can work and play better than ever. It's all powered by your phone. We've always believed that the best products function as part of a larger connected ecosystem, an ecosystem designed around you. With newly optimized apps that stretch in every corner of your life and your screen, we're making it even easier to do bigger things. For years, we've pioneered groundbreaking new products like DeX and refined the fundamental features that have always set the Note series apart. And to tell you more about how we've made those features even better, please welcome back Justin Dennison.
Thank you, John. With the Galaxy series, we've set a new standard for the entire smartphone industry. And that's because of you. These days, your Note is a movie screen, a camera, a notebook, and that's just the new baseline. But over and over again, the Note series has reset our expectations with top-of-the-line performance specs and a suite of extraordinary features. These have continually redefined what we expect from our mobile devices. And when it comes to performance, the Note 8 is better than any Note we've ever made. Remember when I was talking earlier about how powerful the Note 8 is and how it can run multiple apps simultaneously? Well, it has a 10-nanometer processor and a full 6 gigs of RAM. That's as much as many PCs out there. And of course, you keep your entire life stored on your phone, right? And call us crazy, but we don't think that you should have to delete your stuff or get a whole new phone when you run out of space. That's why the Note 8 has a micro SD card slot. Yes. Thank you. And even without the card, it's got 64 gigs of storage on board, enough for huge amounts of music, photos, and documents, or, according to my 12-year-old, about 1 week's worth of selfies. It's true. Of course, when you're storing that much information, you need to keep it safe. That's why we embed Knox, our defense-grade security, into the hardware and software. And it's why we let you choose how to protect your device. We have a whole menu of advanced biometric options, including fingerprint, facial recognition, and the iris scanner, which is our most secure form of biometric authentication and the one that I use to maintain some level of privacy in my household. And convenience isn't just about having a phone that does everything. It's about having a phone that you can take everywhere. We were one of the first to give you the peace of mind that comes with IP68 water and dust resistance. With the Note 8, you don't have to worry about getting your device or the S Pen wet. Or take wireless charging, which eliminates the hassle of plugging and unplugging your phone. Samsung has had wireless charging since the S6 and fast wireless charging since the Note 5. And what about the competition? Well, let's just say most of them are still trying to catch up. Now you can power through your day and charge the Note 8's 3,300 milliamp hour battery quickly and conveniently. Where some see the brand new, Note users see the fundamental features they expect and love, new and improved. From the beautiful display to the powerful S Pen to our best performing camera ever. This is a device designed for people who have big dreams and need a phone to match them. Beginning on September 15th, the Note 8 will hit stores, and pre-orders will begin in a matter of days. Thank you. We are excited. And thanks to our partnership with Harman, the Note 8 will come with a pair of premium AKG earphones tuned by them for a superior listening experience. Now, guess what you can do? Oh, thank you. But wait, there's more. And guess what you can do with those earphones? That's right. You can plug them into the standard earphone jack. Yes. Why not? With the launch of the Note 8, there is so much in the Samsung Galaxy to be excited about. Users love the S8 and the S8 Plus, which we launched in April. They've quickly become two of the most popular Galaxy smartphones ever. And we're proud to add the Note 8 to that industry-leading portfolio of devices. But the Note 8 release isn't the only exciting event coming up in our future. Next week, many of you will be in Berlin to hear more about the Note 8 at the IFA conference, where we'll also unveil some of the newest stars in the Samsung Galaxy. Now, as much as we love talking about the Note 8, we're even more excited to see the amazing things that you'll do with it. You're living proof that progress isn't defined by wires and code. It's driven by people. We may have designed and engineered the Note 8, but you inspired it. So to all the incredible Note fans in the audience, thank you so much for your vision, your loyalty, and your support. Thank you. Thank you. And to all the future Note fans out there, we are thrilled to welcome you to the Samsung Galaxy family. Thank you.
I started with the Samsung Note 2.
About the Note 2, the Note 3. I skipped the 4th, which I regret.
I placed a pre-order because I was just too excited and didn't want it to be sold out.
There's competition between my wife and I, my Note 4 versus her Note 5.
The Note 5 was my first one. I thought it was awesome.
I would definitely say it's enhanced my lifestyle because it makes me organized.
It does everything for you. It makes your life a lot easier.
I take the phone with me and it's my wingman.
Really excited about the Samsung Note 8 coming out. If I'm the first person to get it, I'll be the happiest person in the world.
We actually have a really big surprise for you.
Okay.
I'm all ears.
And we can't actually show it with the camera on.
Really?
All right, cut cameras. Cut cameras?
Turn off the cameras. Cut cameras.
Here it is. That's the Note 8.
Oh my goodness.
This is awesome.
It's beautiful.
I want it.
So you like it?
Oh, I love it.
Like, can I have one today?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate with 100 Samsung employees who have joined us today.
explain any of these thoughts racing through my brain. It's true. Baby, I'm howling for you. All right. There's something wrong.
All right, welcome back to the show here at CNET Live. That was the Note 8. I loved it. Quick, to the point, had some great visuals and stuff. We're going to talk about that, but we want to make the show a recap show for you guys and gals. Patrick is still here in the house with me, hanging out. So let me again, our phone calls are working, all right? So let's get to that number again. It is 1-844-311-7118. We'll take your calls. We'll talk about how you thought about the Note 8, maybe something you liked the most, some of your reactions. There's always kind of some fun, awkward moments in there, too, because come on.
No.
Yeah, not at all. It's a keynote. So as the lines are building up here, and we're going to take them, and we're already getting calls in right now. Patrick, anything that stuck out to you from what you saw here today?
I think the biggest thing is that nod to the Note 7 users, $425 off.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think they actually officially said it in the keynote, but we have a report that basically eligible customers who bought the Galaxy Note 7 will receive a massive discount on the Note 8 by trading in their current phone. And remember, they have a record of who had to initially trade in their Note 7 for like an S7 at that time, right? Or an S7 Edge at that time. So they have a record of this. It will be an instant trade-in value worth up to $425 through a special offer on Samsung.com. We had our man, I can't remember what his name was, Joshua, who had called in saying, "Oh, I got my Note 7 right now." $425 off of a Note 8 for previous Note 7 users. There were about 3 million of those phones recalled. They didn't talk about, but that is killer. That is a way to say we are sorry and we want your we want you back as a customer and we got to show you love. That's huge.
And the other thing is, the phone looks amazing.
The phone looks awesome.
Phone looks amazing.
Phone looks awesome.
I mean, it just looks like, so you have the redesign of the body, but also what I also love about it is you have those dual cameras, and they made a big deal of the S Pen, which I think on that screen with the way they've reshaped it a little bit could be pretty compelling too.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get to the calls, we will talk about more. We have so much because we want this show to be about you. We're going to jump into the first look of the Note 8 because we're a site that happened to get our hands on it earlier. Surprise, surprise. We're going to play that first look so you guys can digest more things, and then we'll come back here and start talking about what we saw today.
Okay, let me get a cue and make sure it's working.
Remember last year's exploding Galaxy Note 7? Well, Samsung hopes to wipe those memories away with its new phone for power users, the Galaxy Note 8. And it plans to do that by introducing top-notch tech and tricks that you can't do on any other phone, using the dual cameras on the back, this is a first for Samsung, and the Note's trademark stylus. The Note 8's two 12-megapixel cameras have a portrait mode that artfully blurs the background. This isn't new, it's on phones like the iPhone 7 Plus, but what is new is that the Note 8 goes a step further and it also saves a wide-angle version of the image, so you get two shots for the price of one. And then there's the S Pen stylus, which you use to write, draw, and navigate around. The Note 8 lets you write yourself a note on the home screen. This is called off-screen Memo, and you can also pin it to the home screen without ever unlocking the phone. If you remember this from the Note 7 before it was recalled, what's different is that you can now make this up to 100 sheets long. You can also use the stylus to create an animated GIF of a picture or a word that you can then share with your friends in any app that supports GIFs, including Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Look, it's not essential, but it's pretty fun. Finally, if you like using two apps at the same time, say YouTube and Google Maps, then you can ramp up your multitasking by pairing the two together. You start from the App Edge tab on the side of the screen. That's not all that the Galaxy Note 8 is plying you with. It's also got an 8-megapixel selfie camera with the usual filters and a high-resolution 6.3-inch screen. There are curving sides with barely a bezel, and Samsung's Bixby voice assistant that you launch with that button on the side. The whole phone is water and dust resistant too, even the S Pen. There's wireless charging, fast charging through the USB-C port, a powerful processor, and a headphone jack that comes with a pair of AKG earbuds in the box. Now, the Galaxy Note 8 runs Android Nougat version 7.1.1, but Samsung says it will upgrade it to the latest version later on. All of this sounds good, but the biggest red flag for the Note 8 is that the Fingerprint Reader is just like on the Galaxy S8 to the far edge of the camera array. The Note is a big phone, which makes this placement very awkward to the unpracticed finger. On the other hand, the iris scanner on the front is another alternative. If you own the Note 7, which was a really beautiful phone, then the Note 8 looks and feels very familiar. But the battery on this model is actually smaller, which is good if it makes the Note 8 less susceptible to exploding. However, apart from the addition of a second camera on the back and this year's new stylus tricks, the Note 8 doesn't seem to push too many boundaries, especially compared to the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. But from what we've seen so far, it has all the ingredients to be Samsung's most powerful, capable phone for 2017.
I'm so chill right now.
So
that song's
pretty.
so chill.
So smooth.
I like that. Great job on our video team, and Jessica, great job on that video. So that's just kind of a look at the Note 8. What we are going to do is let's jump into calls. You and I, Patrick, will talk about a few other things. But let's cross our fingers. I'm sure this call thing is going to work again. I'm going to throw out to Chris coming to us. Is it Chris Morales?
Yes.
What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to CNET Live. You know, I want to jump in with you. What did you think of the keynote that you just saw today?
Oh, my God. It was mind-blowing. I've been a fan since the Note 4, and what I just saw was unbelievable.
That's awesome. What was the feature kind of that stuck out to you the most that you're like, this is the first thing I want to do with my Note 8?
The camera and the S Pen. I use the S Pen a lot for memos and everything. And that's what I was calling in earlier for, because I was really hoping for a speaker or some type of dictation for the S Pen. Unfortunately, they announced that and it doesn't have that feature, but the S Pen's pressure sensitivity and that's a finer point, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly just a fan. I don't obviously have a Note product at all, and I never have, but I love the fact of just whipping out your phone and being able to write notes right on the screen as if it was a piece of paper. Like that's something I would actually do without unlocking the screen. I think that I know it was with the Note 7, but that's kind of like the hot actual practical feature that I love about it as well. That's great. So you're pumped up. You're going to get one of these bad boys.
Oh, definitely. I'm waiting for my company to release them so that way
You're a smart man going through the company.
Yeah, that's where you got to do it, man.
That's how we do it. All right, hey, Chris, thanks so much for calling. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Cool, thank you. he's a smart one. All right, let's go check out Trevor, who's talking to us about the Note 8. Trevor, what's going on?
No, I'm doing well. I'm from Canada, and
right.
I had a Note 7 as well, and I loved it, and I gave it up grudgingly. Wasn't terribly happy about that. And I'm using the S7 Edge right now. I'm really, really looking forward to like the size of the screen. I actually work for a cell phone company where we sell them in a retailer, so I played with the S8 Plus and the S8, and I love the screen, and I'm waiting to see what the screen on this looks like in my hand.
Yeah, no, as I say, what's neat about the S8 Plus is it's not that much smaller than, the Note 8's not much bigger than the S8 Plus, which is really exciting. I mean, as far as the body, yeah.
Yeah, and the S Pen I really loved because I've always used it for drawing and things like that. And when I had the Note 7, I actually created a few GIFs with it, and actually the ability to start doing that again, I'm looking forward to that.
You were kind of like teased by the Note 7, right? You started goofing around with all this cool stuff they had, and then they took it from your hands because they had to. So you're ready to jump back on. Did you hear about what we talked about right after the show ended about the $425 discount for Note 7 owners to the Note 8? Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. Now, does that mean you have to buy it outright, or is this because I want it on plan? I'm not going to pay outright for anything.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics for that. I don't know the specifics for that. They just basically are referring people to Samsung's website right now to, obviously they have been able to track by serial number and who you were, who had the Note 7. So we just know that this
Right.
offer is going out. We haven't been able to dig into the details, but if we can find that out later within this, we're going to be on here for about another 10, 15 minutes. We'll let you know, but it might be something that at least obviously you can kind of dig and maybe you can find out for us. But at the moment, we don't
On
know.
the front page of CNET right now if you want to read about it.
No, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be asking all kinds of questions from my work when I go into work tomorrow.
That's number two.
Let's see,
That's
wow.
number 2 for the work phone, baby.
I'm noticing
number
a theme
2 for the
here.
work phone.
Noticing
All
a
right.
theme.
Hey, thanks so much for calling from Canada, Trevor. We appreciate it.
Take care.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, let's jump in here. I don't have a name for this caller, so they're just going to have to start talking, and we're going to see who's there. Welcome to the show. This is Brian and Patrick from CNET Live. See, I can hear them listening to the show. What's up? Hey, turn your actual video down and talk to us through the phone, and then we'll be good to go. He's going to wait for a second.
All right. Well, I was very impressed with the camera. I'm coming from Puerto Rico, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Puerto Rico!
Despacito! But I was very impressed with the camera because watching the leaks, they were mostly talking about regular camera and a photo lens with, teleport lens with the zoom, and watching that there's going to be a wide angle lens. To me, that was the most impressive part. I was not expecting that.
Nice. So you're a happy camper, aren't you?
For that, I am. I'm
Yeah.
still not going to get the phone, though, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be over $1,000.
Yeah.
But I'm happy we have some options for other people.
Very cool. All right.
I
Hey,
already jumped the OnePlus.
awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for calling. We appreciate it. Thanks for the call from all the way in Puerto Rico, my man. All right.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Cool. Thank you.
I did hear that last part. He says he's thinking about maybe the OnePlus, because I think that's the thing. Get the OnePlus 5 with the dual cameras, similar to the iPhone with the zoom and the portrait mode. About half the price of this thing. Now it doesn't have the S Pen. It's a lot smaller screen. There's so many caveats, but at the same time, I think I don't know. I think the price is. It's respectable to see that's probably where things are moving in the industry. However, how many people are going to pony up that grand or just under $1,000 for that?
I also think, though, the Note 8 has never tried to be a phone for everyone, right? It's like, for literally, to me, it's more of a power user, and if you love that stylus action, you're going to get it. And it was the phone to get with that type of functionality, right? Like, although it may not sell nearly as many units as an S8 or an S8 Plus, it nailed that whole stylus phablet phone form factor and functionality. So, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to lose its spot anymore, even though they had that whole debacle. And even at the time, people, Samsung was really embarrassed. I think people forget that Samsung, the company, is integrated into Korean culture. Like, they own grocery stores, hospitals. Like, it's part of the culture. So that was like really a black eye to just them as a country because of how integrated Samsung is. And so, more than anything, as a tech fans, although we can laugh about the phones exploding, I want to see these companies succeed, right? I want to see great stuff. It pushes other companies to do better things. We'll see what happens with the iPhone's cameras, if they will both have optical image stabilization or not. My hunch is probably, right? But again, I don't want to see phones not succeed. It doesn't help us, and also it gives us more great stuff to cover. Quite honestly,
it does,
right?
and then
who wants to cover lame stuff?
At the same time, I think it's also how a company reacts to something like that. You want to feel like they're being genuine and they're being honest, even if the Note 8 was great and they hadn't been genuine and honest. But it's combining that, it's giving that deal to the people who did it.
$425,
That's
bro.
ridiculous.
That's so awesome.
You could buy another phone with that.
You could. Well, now these days you could buy another half a phone.
Half a phone, yeah.
Half a phone.
Half a phone with
half
that.
Half a phone.
Get a lot of S Pens, a lot of extra S Pens in case you lose them.
All right, let's get a few more calls before we wrap up here. Just want to get all of your thoughts, opinions. We have a lot of happy campers that have called in. I'm gonna go here. If this name picks up properly, it looks like General Turner going from Note 7 to Note 8. General Turner, are you there?
Yes, I'm turning down my volume. Regarding the Note 7 and the Note 8, my son had a Note 7. It gave him no problems, but his carrier told him it's best for him to turn it in.
Yep.
He turned it in. They gave him another phone. I believe it was another Note 7 which was a total screw up. So he had to revert back to his Note 5.
And so
now, I'm wondering, he should be eligible for that discount.
Absolutely, he should be. We have an article posted, but other than the announcement of the 425 through a special offer on Samsung.com, again, because you were linked to that phone by its serial number, there's going to be some record of it, whether it's through your carrier. But we don't know the specifics other than going to check out that offer on Samsung.com, how that plays out, even the relationship with the carrier. How does that happen? Payment-wise, how does that happen? I mean, this just got announced, unfortunately, so we'll see if we can get a breakdown of that. But the good thing is that I don't see why he wouldn't be eligible for that. It's for anyone who was a Note 7 customer. So I think you guys are in the clear for sure.
I know he was happy with his Note 7, and the one that he had didn't give him any problems. But when he had to exchange it, I believe for another Note 7 that they said should have been better, that's when it started heating up. He was having issues with it. The apps weren't running correctly, and then they told him to bring it back in, and he just went back to his Note 5.
Yeah, I think, a good thing that you can do here is one of the things that we had found out about the actual battery inside the Note 8 is it's slightly smaller capacity. The Note 7 battery was a 3,500 milliamp hour battery. This one is 3,300, so there's a little less juice in it, but that also is probably that's probably done deliberately for that purpose. So I think the smart thing to do is, if you're unsure and you feel like you had a bad experience, just wait a month or so. It's not like there's a huge rush to get it right now, unless you're a tech fiend like some of us are. Just wait it out and see what ends up happening over the course of a month or two of how these phones are performing, and then then you can pull the trigger for your son. But I could understand why people are not in a rush to get it, but ultimately I think it's going to be okay this time around. We didn't see any battery issues with the S8 or S8 Plus. Anything significant that was a widespread thing.
Well, I'm the tech person, and I love new gadgets. I know Samsung does make a number of various electronic items, from refrigerators to phones. They're good. I don't have an issue with them.
All right, man. Hey, thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate it.
All right, now.
All right, cool. Thank you.
And he brings up a good thing. Like, I think a lot of people forget there was actually not one but two recalls. So they had the first recall, the second one. I mean, so I think, I don't know, there's going to be a time when we don't talk about it all the time, but I think you have to talk about it today.
For now.
But at the same time, just looking at that phone that was shown on that crazy stage. That stage, first of all.
Yo,
dude,
the stage,
look out, Broadway, look out, It's like Celine Dion and Vegas stage,
I was like feeling that stage.
That stage was crazy.
That stage is might be the highlight of the show.
That was an insane stage.
We knew everything about the phone. But anyways, continue.
No, but the phone itself, I mean, despite all those other things that happened with the Note 7, that was a really great phone, and the fact that they were able to iterate on that, again, that newer body, the dual cameras, the updates to not only insane amount of performance of the 835 and the 6 gigabytes of RAM, but also the software updates. I think some people were questioning if it would have Android or Oreo out of the box, which that seems like a long stretch because it was just announced a couple days ago.
Yeah. And we know that unless you're basically if you're the Pixel phone, it's going to take time to get the Android update. Yeah. It's just the way it is. I mean, they just put out, there are ways for people that have some of the phones that are supported, the Pixel, I think the Nexus 6P, I'm not sure if the 5X is probably part of that as well. Typically they are, that can actually upgrade to Oreo right now. So there are ways to do it, like to get directly to the disk image to do it. So that is out there. All right, we're gonna take a couple more calls. The lines are still completely full. We just want to say thank you so much for everyone that is watching and hanging out with us. It's funny because for the first time we do a lot of these keynotes, and a lot of times after we do Apple keynotes, it's like people are cathartically like venting about how frustrated they are, right? Beach.
Yeah, totally.
Isn't it true?
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite right now.
Today
like,
is a new day.
Amazing, yeah.
People are like happy, so I think that's a great thing for Samsung. Like it speaks to just the general mood. Everyone that is called.
Pin up, guys.
Yeah,
pin up.
Pen up. Way up, I feel blessed.
But people are concerned. I mean, there are like the last guy that just called. He's concerned about his son's phone.
Totally.
So there is little, there's a little thing in the back of everyone's mind still.
It's like, for example, Apple's own situation was AntennaGate. You still will always kind of hear about AntennaGate. It's kind of one of those traumatic experiences that Apple customers had. The Note 7 is a traumatic experience that Samsung customers have. You'll always hear it kind of, and then obviously we have beef between both sides because you can't like someone because they have a different phone than you these days. So
I mean, the difference with AntennaGate though is those phones weren't exploding and catching on fire. They were just dropping your call.
They were, yeah.
Just don't hold it that way.
That's true.
No, but it's interesting because you have other companies outside of tech like Chipotle. I think of them like in.
I haven't gone to Chipotle since that chicken
Exactly
thing.
right. It's always going to be there. That like crap. I could get some sort of.
I could get the poo-poos.
I get some big poo-poo. Well, you always get poo-poos at Chipotle.
No, I mean, speak for yourself. Depends how spicy. Depends how much hot sauce you use on there.
But anyway, it's always going to be kind of with that. And how did they evolve past that? I think they did a great job. I'm glad they did not reference the eclipse at all. I think glad they didn't do that.
Their website does, though.
Their website does. Okay,
website,
never mind. I would say
time.
otherwise. I would say perhaps they created a little eclipse of their own today by eclipsing the Note 7.
So since they didn't do it, you did it.
I totally did it.
He just did it. He just did it. All right, let's get a few more calls. It's 9:14 a.m. We're going to stick around for 10 more minutes to get through a few more because you guys have all been patiently calling in. We love it. So we don't have a name for this caller here, but I think we have a kind of like a assistant that transcribes what they say. But welcome to the show. You're on CNET Live. Just start talking and you'll know if you're talking to us.
Hi, my name is Cliff.
What up, Cliff? Welcome to the show. Welcome to CNET Live. Tell us what are you feeling after this whole Note 8 event?
I loved it. It was absolutely awesome. I'm loving it. I'm trying to pre-order. The thing about it is, I just want to know from Patrick, because he said earlier that the phone is slightly bigger. I want to know, is it in the left to right? Is it that much bigger?
Well, we know
wider?
The screen is 6.3 inches versus last year's was 5.7 inches. I think the body of it is roughly the same size as it was last year. So that's going to be the big thing. But also, if you look how they integrated that bigger screen in the S7, the S8 and the S8 Plus, how the actual S8 is physically smaller than the S7 was. So it'll be interesting. I haven't actually physically had my hands on the Note 8, so that's going to be something. But this in pictures and looking at the dimensions, it should be about the same size as the Note 7, but you get that much bigger screen, or almost a half an inch bigger.
Yeah, the big thing, right, because we have these edge-to-edge displays pioneered by Samsung, because guess what? They have their own OLED factories. In fact, Samsung is supplying the majority of OLED screens for Apple's next iPhone. But what you have is, remember, we have these big bezels that used to be on the phone, these black edges that had no screen on them whatsoever. They're extending the screen all the way, so it's like a thin line. So you're able to keep that similar form factor, but get more screen. I mean, that is the big trend in phone design across the board, across the industry. Keep them around the same size, but give you like half an inch more of screen. I mean, I'm down with that. I don't know about you. So that's why we say it's bigger, right?
The thing about it is, I mean, I just want to know, my thing is the wideness, because the S8 was awesome, but I picked it up and it was so narrow and skinny, it was more longer, and I was just concerned, was this Note 8 going to be a little wider as opposed to bigger from top to bottom?
Yeah, it will be wider without a doubt. I mean, I have a personal question. Are you worried about how this fits in your skinny jeans?
No.
I'm playing with you. I'm playing with you, bro.
When I'm looking at landscape, I'd rather for it to be, wider. If you hold it straight up, wider from left to right as far as long, because it looked like, sorry to say this, it looked like a candy bar, the S8.
Very good, my man. Very good. All right. Well, hey, thanks so much for calling in, Chris. We appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that's hilarious. He's like, it looks like a candy bar.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and that's like that optical illusion. And they even talk about that display being like that weird ratio, like 15,
yeah, it was
16.5 or something like that.
And I think the thing that was kind of frustrating is, right, with certain videos you're watching, because it was so narrow, you get big black bars on the side.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's kind of that's kind of a pain in the butt. All right, let's go over to our man. It looks like his name is Dylan. Dylan calling about the Note 8 event. What's up, Dylan? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, man. How are you?
What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to CNET Live. We're doing great here. How about yourself?
Not too bad.
Yeah, drop it on us. What do you want to talk about?
That event was really underwhelming.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you expecting?
Not really impressed at all.
What were you expecting personally? I mean, everyone, the great thing about this, everyone has their own take. So what was kind of, I guess, did you have a certain expectation or where are you at with that?
Well, disclaimer, I'm an Apple user. I've had an iPhone since the 3GS. So, I mean, take that with how you will. But after the whole Note 7 debacle, I was really expecting them to come out swinging, and they just had a headphone jack joke, and that was about it.
And it went bad. Headphone jack
Dylan
joke.
going savage, going in on Samsung. You know what, Dylan, I think you make a great point, but at the same time, I also think that the Note 8's job this time around was just to basically show off this is still going to be a solid and have a few, maybe a new feature a la the cameras. And I know that you're saying, guess what? The iPhone is probably going to have dual iOS, Optic OIS in it as well. But I think, for Samsung Note users, you have a, like kind of many industries, a specific loyal following that you have to satisfy. You also have to kind of show the tech world as a whole that you're making a quality product again. And I don't think they're going to have a problem with that. So I would probably guess you would see Note 9 take another leap. But then also, bro, I'm an iPhone user like you. I'm an Apple user who has a lot of Apple stuff. I mean, if you're looking for things to, kind of take that next leap or jump, I mean, you know that the iPhone is going to have everything that all these other phones that have, too. I don't know if iPhone's going to make necessarily a big leap over others other than play catch-up with, design with the OLED screen. So, I mean, what do you expect from the iPhone if the Note 8 kind of, let you down? Because this is the most feature-packed phone out there.
Well, I mean, to be honest, if they don't do wireless charging this time around, they kind of are going to let a lot of people down. Because I mean, if honestly the Samsung wireless charging and the quick charging stuff, that's if Apple doesn't do that, they're really losing out on a lot of possibly brand new customers. And I don't know, the dual what is it, optical image stabilization, that was cool. If they don't come out swinging with that, then they're going to lose them again. But at the same time, I'm fine with the screen. I have a 7 Plus.
Yeah,
Screen's
baby.
fine with me. I'm not really too concerned with. I mean, OLED screen would be cool, but there are already reports saying that the phone's going to be what, $1,200 or whatever.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see.
Until it gets announced, right?
You got to think about that too. But I mean, I don't know, the mock-ups that they've been putting on that all the big tech YouTubers have had. I'm not real too pleased with that cutout at the top. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see what it looks like and get it in our hands.
Yeah, I don't know if the cutout's going to be that big of a deal long term because also with the way that they'll show some of the other utilities like the cell signal and the Wi-Fi signal, it's going to become a consistent black bar across the top most of the time. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
I was just using the Essential phone, which
has
a
with
similar cutout with a notch, and it looked horrible when I saw it being presented at that conference earlier this summer. But in person, it's just stunning. You don't even realize the notch is there because the way the software goes around it. And I'm sure knowing Apple, that's one of the things they would have to address right away is how they would do that. And if any of those mock-ups are at all reflective of what the actual product is, the notch I think looks a little bit better in their mock-ups than the mock-up I saw of the Essential, which in person looked pretty phenomenal. So
awesome. All right, hey Dylan, thanks so much for calling. You better call us back on the Apple Keynote because I want to hear if you're blown away or not when the Apple Keynote comes around. Okay, bro?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, man. I'll call back for sure. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for calling.
Hey, Brian, I got a update. So basically, our last caller before this one was asking about how wide it is. So the Galaxy Note 7 was 2.9 inches wide. The Galaxy Note is 2.9 inches wide.
The Note 8 same width.
Is exactly going to be the same width.
Very good.
A little bit taller, though. It's about half an inch taller, though. So
it's grown up.
0.4 of an inch.
It's grown up. All right, we're going to take 2 more calls, and we have to actually do other work, believe it or not. We can't just sit here and just talk. Come on, Beach.
I want to be here all day.
I know, you just chill, man.
I thought you were here all day. I thought you just lived in
here all day.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
much
in this room.
Pretty much is. All right, let's go over here and talk to Mike Mike is giving us a call out here. Oops, hold on one second, Mike. Let me get you in here. Here we go. Mike, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Over here and talk. How's it going?
Good, good. If you turn down the volume on your computer, then or just talk to us directly at the phone, it'll be like a real-time conversation.
Ooh, it got intimate.
It did.
Yep, I got you.
I got you. All right, Mike, welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Nothing. I just, I work at Verizon, so I've seen a couple. I got to see the phone in person, and then, I was really, really interested to see what Samsung was going to come back with the Note 7 users, because unfortunately, I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, the next best phone to me, I went to Apple, unfortunately. I don't have anything against Apple. I've had the best of both worlds, Samsung and Apple, but I was really, really blown away by the Note 8 unboxing. It was nice.
So does that mean you're going to be jumping back? I mean, where do you stand with this? Because now you're...
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm definitely jumping back to Samsung.
Oh, he's going back to Samsung, Samsung, Samsung.
I'm not a big fan of the no headphone jack on the iPhone 7.
Me too. I still don't like that.
There's a lot of cars still out here with that aux cable, and I've lost the adapter I don't know how many times. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember, right, when people first said, "Oh, it's a Lightning port." Like, first there was a large group of people like, "Oh my gosh," and typically it was people that actually weren't Apple users that were first making fun of it. And then as Apple users started realizing this is really damn annoying, then they started getting annoyed with it. And then you have this kind of group of elitists within the Apple elitists that'll say
1%.
They're like the 0.1 percenters that are like, "Hey, why don't you just buy AirPods?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, so
as an AirPod owner, Brian,
I own, but yes, I do have them for review purposes, ladies and gentlemen. But no, it's annoying. There's still so many times, like to his point exactly. I actually don't like using Bluetooth in my car. It doesn't sound as clean. I like the best sounding audio, and there's plenty of times where I'm like in a car rental or I'm on the go, and I can't use an auxiliary cable. I just can't.
It is weird that
it doesn't bother me to use an auxiliary cable.
With all the technology all these phones have, how something so simple can still drive that decision.
Absolutely. So, Mike, we're expecting you to be in line for Note 8. Is that what I understand?
Oh yeah, and I'll definitely be on it. I got another. I mean, I heard about the 425.
Yeah.
Is that just for people that went back to Samsung, or is that for all users that had the Note 7?
I'm the thing about it is there was no specification as if you stayed within the Samsung family, right? Meaning you bought an S7 Edge, right? As you had to return it, there was kind of like an even out program with a different type of Samsung phone. We don't even have the specifics on it. All they've been pointing people to do is to go to Samsung.com's website. So I would just stay locked in, whether it's at CNET or other sites, to find out exactly where we can find those specifics, because no one really at this point in time, because we're just out of the keynote, has the exact specifics. So you bought a Note 7, so you're in the system, but I don't know if that qualifies you or not. I would think so, because you had to return it, even if you bought a different phone after that. So we'll just sit tight. I mean, you said you work for Verizon, so
I say
get it. Someone got to hook it up for you, bro.
Gotta go back.
Got to hook it up.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually, I was on a vacation trip when I got that recall notice, and
oh, dude,
I didn't return my Note 7 right away. I didn't want to give it back. I loved everything about it, so I was like, and then Verizon was like, "Well, we're gonna shut your service off if you don't turn it back in."
Wow. Oh, they took it really seriously.
That's something we also forget is there was as many as
I went to the iPhone 7, and it was pretty. I'm not a big fan, of the locked interface in the iPhone. So
yeah, and I think, look, if you're I've always felt the Note is a specific product to a specific user. Like, if you want a Note, you don't want a phone that doesn't have a stylus. So.
And I think a lot of people forget that, like, there's so many people who did not have issues with their Note 7s, and that was I think that's the part of it where, you have this thing that's potentially dangerous, and they had to be taken away. But so many people had such great experiences with that, and to come out with a Note 8, which looks like it's going to be able to do all that and more, and in a much sleeker looking design and more equipped cameras and faster performance, a better S Pen, and
dope
pin
screen, don't pan up,
you're going to have a wonderful time. But yeah, I think it's going to be
definitely.
neat to see
Yeah,
how the carriers handle all this.
I was kind of hoping that they were going to put a speaker in that S Pen from
So
all the
many-
rumors
yeah,
that I was hearing.
a lot of people.
But then you'd be like answering phone calls like old timey, like Andy Griffith, be like, "Hello, how are you doing? Hello, good to see you."
Note
Good,
9,
huh?
baby. You know it's dropping on the Note 9. They're gonna do it.
I told
mean,
you
yeah.
a
They're gonna do
microphone
it.
would be better. You could karaoke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we talked about it. We want a S Pen karaoke. Like,
Hell yeah.
I will. You know what? I'll buy a
S Pen
Note.
karaoke
If there's
would
Note
be-
9 with
that would be it.
S Pen karaoke, oh, we're totally doing that.
S Pen
Oh, yeah.
karaoke.
All right, hey,
That'd be hilarious.
Mike, thanks so much for calling, bro. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So I think, yeah. What are you gonna say?
The one thing I was gonna say too is another thing in the video that our reviewer talked about was the placement of the fingerprint sensor.
Yeah.
So this is the S8 Plus, and you can see that we have the camera. Yeah, hold this a little bit.
There you
closer.
go.
You can see we have the camera here in the middle.
Yep.
And on either side we have the flash and the fingerprint sensor. It looks like on the Note 8 that they put the flash unit in between the fingerprint
Correct.
sensor and the camera. Not to say that's not going to you're still not going to be touching that camera with your finger, but hopefully that will just help minimize some of the smudging and
Less
stuff.
smudgy.
Less smudgy.
A new, less smudgy design.
You'll have smudgy flashes.
Less smudgy,
not
yeah. Which is okay,
smudgy
right?
pictures.
It'll diffuse it more.
It'll
It's
diffuse
okay.
it, give
You
it a
can actually
softer
get-
look.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
That like soap opera look.
So, anyways, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Patrick, for joining and hanging out with the show,
thanks
man.
for having me, my
Always,
friend.
bro.
Yeah.
And we need to give a multiple round of applause for Mr. Stephen Beecham.
Beach.
Thank you very much.
Dude runs the show. Dude runs the damn show by himself.
I'm gonna give him a pin up.
By himself.
Sign me up, baby.
Pin up.
All right, so next time we'll be here, honestly, a couple weeks, 3 weeks, Apple Keynote coming out. We know you're going to be watching for that, but again, stick with us. CNET coverage throughout the day, the week, all the kind of the fallout, aftermath updates. We'll try and also figure out that whole $425 rebate and the specifics of that. Just stick with us on CNET. But until then, we'll be here. Same bat time-ish place, same bat time-ish channel. All right, peace.
Pin
Be
up.
safe.
Pin out.